Hi everybody, welcome to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Core Concepts Part 9, brought to you by Island Top Team, located in beautiful Nanaimo, BC. Come train with us if you're in town. This is going to be on choke mechanics. We've had a lot of success with our choking methodology, which is a little bit unique, and we're going to present you some of those concepts that we use right now. Okay, so conceptually, if you think about what a choke is a good choke in every case is a triangle. So what I want to do when I'm choking someone is cut off the carotid arteries on either side of the neck, and I want to have pressure on the back of the neck, forming a triangle like this. That's the most efficient way to choke somebody. Anytime you start to put pressure across the front of the person's neck, you're going to compress the windpipe, and it's going to suck, and it's still going to choke them, but it's not going to be as efficient. So starting with the basic rear naked choke, I want to have my forearm on one side, my bicep on the other side, and I want my hand on my opposite shoulder, not on the back of his head. This is commonly taught, and again, don't want to say that it's wrong, but anybody who's skilled in jiu-jitsu will reach up, pull your hand off. Not only that, if you notice, if I'm pushing on the top of the head, I'm opening up the triangle. It's very difficult to compress like this while pushing away like this. What I want to be doing is reaching across with this hand to wedge this hand into a more acute angled triangle. So I'm here, I'm across, and then I want to be head to head. That's where I'm getting my forward pressure from, not from my hand, but from my head pressing his head forward. I want to expand my chest, which also makes the triangle shape tighter, and then simply squeeze. All right? If you do it this way, one of the things we've had a tremendous amount of success with is, tuck your chin in for me, Mitch. A lot of guys think that this is defense, having your jaw in. This is not good defense. It's horrible defense. Very commonly, all the time we get visitors here, we get their back, we start choking them, they think that having their chin in is going to be enough, and within a couple seconds, they're tapping. Not just in training, we have a fair bit of success in competition with this. Our team regularly gets the back, regularly gets the rear naked choke, and opposing coaches are yelling at their students that, yeah, you're fine, just get your chin in, and within a couple of seconds of this, they're tapping. So don't worry about someone's chin being in if your rear naked choke is correct. If you're applying the triangle effect, you're going to be fine. Another choke that you see commonly taught is any sort of triangle, arm triangle, leg triangle. The emphasis is on pushing the elbow across. Again, it's not wrong, but scoot down. The arteries here, it's very easy to miss them, especially with skinny folk. If you're pushing this way, you want to be pushing the shoulder up into the neck. My bicep is one side of the triangle, his shoulder is the other side of the triangle. I need to compress that triangle, and you do this by driving your shoulder or your collarbone or whatever part of your body you have in contact with their arm forward, turning the corner, and then squeezing. And you notice my partner tapped while I was just applying the choke with one arm. We do that all the time in here. We've got, Umesh himself has one arm rear naked choked a guy in competition. In class, I instruct my students to only perform this choke, the north-south choke with one arm. If you understand the technique correctly, you don't need both arms to finish somebody. If you don't understand the technique correctly, you're gonna have to squeeze like crazy and you're not gonna get your result. So the idea behind choke mechanics is every choke is conceptually the same. Whether I'm using the gi as an anchor point, whether I'm using my hand as an anchor point, whether I'm using the floor as an anchor point, I need to create pressure on either side and pressure on the back of the head, and that triangle has to compress tighter and tighter. If you apply that principle to all of your chokes and don't think about this is a technique that must be done this way, body types change, length of limbs change, the amount of space that you can create relative to your opponent changes. What never changes is this shape, and it needs to get narrower and smaller. Anytime you're having trouble with a choke, it means that one of those ingredients isn't there. Either you're not directly on the arteries, or your backstop isn't proper. For example, with gi chokes, commonly people just say, oh, just get your arm deeper, just get your arm deeper. There's a point where I can get so deep that I'm on the back side of the neck instead of on the front. That's not going to provide a triangle shape. So any good choke, again, with the gi chokes, is going to use the gi space here as a backstop in most cases, and as an anchor point, and then my hands are going to make the triangle. So if your hands are too wide, they're not really making a triangle. But if your arms are too deep, they're not going to make the triangle properly. In some cases, i.e. bow and arrow choke, the gi will be one side of the triangle, the forearm will be the other side of the triangle. And this is where, again, you'll see commonly people pulling way back like this, which is, again, not wrong, it works. But the backstop is largely missing, which is why it takes so long to get taps. The backstop should be right there with your shoulder, and you're going to get a much quicker and more efficient result. So again, this is choke mechanics. Make a triangle, tighten it up. One last example, the triangle, leg triangle. Very commonly people are told to pull across, entirely unnecessary. Someone's arm can be all the way out here. As long as I rotate my hip out enough that his shoulder comes into his neck, I can finish the triangle without closing my legs. In fact, I've choked people right unconscious while doing this. So, apply those principles and your choke efficiency will exponentially increase. And if you want more detailed information on this, I highly recommend Ryan Hall's Arm Triangles and Triangles DVD. It's the best information on the market. And again, Island Top Team, if you're in Nanaimo, come visit us. Thank you.